Hi, my name is Aziz. I'm 36 years old. I've been in teaching English and preparing students for IELTS exam for 15 years. Majority students coming to our learning center see that they have problem with writing. And that's why I have decided to prepare 48 video lessons. In our video lessons, you can find new vocabulary, structures for task 1 and task 2, and example essays that I have written. And you can watch these video lessons repeatedly anywhere and anytime, and these video lessons for busy people and students studying abroad. If one lesson is free, you can watch it and then you can make a decision. Okay, let's start our trial lesson. This lesson is about academic writing rules for task 2. There are some rules that you need to do. There are lots of things you need to do in academic writing. Okay, the first thing that you need to do is you should identify a type of essay. For example, essay can be reason solution essay, maybe problem solution essay, maybe discussion, maybe advantage disadvantage, because structure would be different depending on a type of essay. The second thing that you need to do, you should spend 5 minutes planning your essay. For example, you can make some notes, example, what to include in your writing. Okay, then you should start writing. The first thing that you need to do, you should paraphrase the task sentence, because it's a very important thing not to copy. That's why try to develop your synonyms, so try to be able to paraphrase the task sentence. If you copy, your mark decreases dramatically. Okay, then rule number 4 is that you should write the aim of the essay, because it's a very important thing. For example, in thesis statement, you should identify, example, what's the purpose of the essay. It's a very important thing. Okay, then what's the next is you should divide your essay into paragraphs. For example, at least you should write 4 paragraphs, 1 introduction, 1 conclusion, and 2 body. Okay, then rule number 6 can be that you should start each paragraph with a topic sentence. It's a very important thing, because if you write topic sentence, you can examiner understands that what you are going to include, example, it can be understood. Okay, then what else? You should make up a complex sentence. But it's very important to use example some conjunctions, example, in order to make simple sentence more complex. Next thing, you should use formal vocabulary. It's a very important thing. For example, instead of make sure, it's better to say ensure. Or instead of example, lots of examples, sometimes it's better to use a plurality of. Because if you write formal vocabulary, it would be much better sometimes. Okay, next thing that you should do is you should use formal linking words. They can be example, nevertheless, or moreover. You can use maybe furthermore, example. These are formal vocabulary. Okay, next rule number 10. You should use an impersonal language. in impersonal language. It means what? For example, it's better not to use example I, you, or we example, but you can use example people. Maybe you can say example young people. So it's better to use not to use example pronouns like I, you, we, like this. And rule number 11 is that you should always example write main sentence, and then you should also write supporting sentence, because without supporting sentence I think your essay doesn't look very good. Okay, and then rule number 12 is that you should write conclusion. It's a very important thing, because if you write conclusion, it shows that you have finished the essay. And one more point that I have forgotten is you should give your opinion. Give your opinion in a formal style. For example, instead of example, I think, it's better to use like it's my belief that. It's my belief that is much better than I think. That's why it's also one thing that you need to do. And also you should write at least 250 words. It's also very important rule that you need to follow. Okay, then we move to example. There are some things that you shouldn't do. Do not. The first thing that you shouldn't do is do not use contractions. Contractions, it means what? For example, you shouldn't say don't, but it's better to say do not, because do not it's better to use. And do not use a personal language that I have already mentioned, like it's better to not to use example language. For example, do not use I, you, or we, but it's better to use example people, maybe young people, example children, example you can see like this. And do not write simple sentence. It's a very important thing. For example, some students write like I think it's good. It's a very simple sentence, because without conjunction I think your sentence look very simple. That's why you can see example, maybe it's my belief that this is example positive, you can see. So you need to use example conjunctions. And next rule that you need to do, you shouldn't what? You shouldn't use only personal examples, because some students example write only personal examples. This is also one thing that you need to avoid. That's why sometimes you need to use general examples. Okay, do not copy the same vocabulary. It's a very important thing. For example, it's better to use synonyms like important, essential, vital, significant, but do not copy the same vocabulary. It's a very important thing. Okay, the next thing that you need to do, you shouldn't overgeneralize. It means that some students write use example, everybody, or all people. I think it's not good. That's why instead of everybody and all people, you can see many people, because we do not know everybody, so it's better to use many people. Okay, what else? Do not use examples that are not related to the topic, because every example should be related to the topic. That's why it's a very important thing. And do not write less than 250 words. So it's one thing that you need to follow. So I think if you use these rules in your writing and your academic writing, I think they benefit you and they help you to get better mark. Okay, thank you very much for attention. Okay, today we'll look at one type of essay. This type of essay asking example the question like, do you think this is positive or negative development? If you are given this kind of a essay, you should use appropriate structure firstly. Then you need to collect ideas. Then you should start writing an essay. Okay, first of all, I want to explain the structure for you. Firstly, what kind of introduction you make? You write example. Firstly, you need to write introduction. Introduction in the first sentence. In the first sentence, you should paraphrase the task sentence. Okay, in the second sentence, you should say example, what's your opinion? You can say it is my view that this is both a positive and negative tendency, you can say. Okay, in the sentence number 3, you should mention that what's the purpose of the essay. I mean, you need to give the aim of the writing example. You can see the following essay will discuss both aspects of something. Okay, this is introduction. Firstly, you need to paraphrase the task sentence. Then you should answer the question. Do you think it's a positive or negative tendency? Maybe both. Because if you understand that there are both sides, you can see it's my view that this is both positive and negative tendency. Okay, then we can go to main part. You should start with the topic sentence that I have already explained. You should see on the one hand, there are lots of benefits to. After that, we can use verb ing or noun. Okay, then you should start giving positive aspects. You should say first, you can say positive side given, and second, you should write the second positive side, and then third, you should see the third positive side, and after that, you should write the example, the second body, starting with topic sentence, like on the other hand, there are also drawbacks too, and after that we can use verb ing or noun. Okay, then you should start giving negative aspects, like we can start with linking word like initially, and secondly, it would be better if you do not copy the linking word, like first initially, second secondly example, third thirdly, maybe you can say maybe moreover, sometimes you can see. Okay, after that you should write conclusion. In conclusion you should paraphrase the task sentence, and you should mention one more time that it's my opinion that this is not only positive but also negative trend. You can see trend is a synonym for tendency. So you need to use this structure. Firstly, you need to paraphrase, then you should answer the question, then you should write the purpose of the essay, like the following essay we'll discuss. Do not use personal pronouns like I'm going to describe something. Then do not forget to give a topic sentence. I mean, On the one hand, there are lots of benefits because examiner should understand that what the paragraph will be about. Then you should give ideas here, then conclusion. You should paraphrase the task sentence, and one more time you should mention that what kind of example tendency this one. Okay, structure would be like this. Now we look at one example with you. Okay, now we look at one example with you. Okay, nowadays a large number of young people in developing countries are moving abroad for employment purposes. Okay, firstly, before starting to write, you should think about example synonyms. For example, nowadays, synonym can be now, a synonym at present, synonym can be this, synonym can be currently. And for a large number of people, large number of synonym is many and lots of and plurality of and people synonym can be individuals and synonym for young people synonym can be the youth, synonym the young, and synonym can be youngsters. Synonym can be the young generation, and a broad synonym can be example foreign country, or synonym can be overseas. Okay, so we need to use this kind of vocabulary right now. Okay, let's start writing essay now. Okay, firstly we need to paraphrase. For example, nowadays a large number of young people in developing countries are moving abroad. You can see like this. Now you can see, just a minute. You can see like this. Now the popularity of working overseas among many youngsters, you can see, is very big. This is just paraphrasing. Then you should answer the question. It's my view that this is both a positive and negative tendency, you can see. This is answering the question. Okay, then you should write the purpose of the essay. You can see the following essay. The following essay will discuss both aspects of working in a foreign country. So this is introduction. Firstly, we have paraphrased it, then we have answered the question in general, what we think we should mention, and then the aim of the essay. Okay, then we move to body part. We can start like this. On the one hand, there are lots of benefits to working abroad. And then we start giving points. First, you can say, young people can be offered job security. Job security, it means like permanent job. Job security that that provide us a stable source of income. You can see because of higher payments, many people can help their family members to satisfy their basic and secondary needs. Okay, second, you can see the second benefit. What? The second benefit is that many workplaces in developed countries offer decent jobs. Decent jobs, it means like good jobs. Decent jobs with better job benefits. Benefits such as perks, bonuses, and holiday packages and rewards, you can see. Okay, third, you can see, and the third, you can see what? Third, you can see young people or youngsters having access to new lifestyle, and there's customers and traditions, you can see, and traditions, and this enables them to expand their horizons more than ever before. Okay, these are positive sides. Then we can go to next body. We can see on the other hand, there are also negative, maybe you can see drawbacks to working in another country. Okay, you can see initially it is sometimes, you can say, very hard to adapt to a new environment because rules and traditions, maybe customers, you can see, customers are totally different from those in local country. Okay, secondly, culture shock, you can see. Culture shock can be very stressful to overcome. for can be very stressful for some young people to overcome. And you can see, and this is also followed by loneliness and loneliness and homesickness, you can see. And this will cause some psychological problems in the beginning. Okay, besides that, the majority of visitors, I mean the majority of people working abroad may have a language barrier to adjust to a working environment. Although you can see, they have already gained basic language skills, you can say. They do not comprehend diverse dialects fully, you can say. Okay, then we may have some examples if we want. Then conclusion. We can write example. In conclusion, it's getting more common among many young people to move overseas for a job, you can say. And then you should give your opinion one more time. You can see it's my opinion that this is not only positive but also negative trend. Okay, so you can write like this. You should answer the question example twice in the introduction part and conclusion part. Okay, now we'll look at vocabulary with you. Okay, we need to write synonyms now. Significant, synonym important, crucial, synonym vital, and insignificant, it means unimportant. Beneficial, it means useful. It means like helpful. It may be sometimes practical. Unusable, it means like useless. Unsafe, it means risky. It means like dangerous. And safe, it means like protected and harmless. Okay, hard, it means like difficult. It may be challenging. Okay, simple, it may be easy. Sometimes it can be ordinary. Okay, diverse, it means like different. It can be various. Okay, identical, it means similar and alike. Okay, pretty, it means like beautiful. beautiful. It may be attractive. Okay, good looking, it can be synonym, like synonym can be handsome, but bad looking, it may be example ugly. Huge is synonym great, enormous. Okay, small synonym can, for small synonym can be tiny, can be marginal. Up to date, it may be modern, and fashionable. Out of date, it can be synonym like old and old-fashioned. Okay, aged synonym can be old. For angry, it can be synonym annoyed and irritated. Impolite, it can be synonym unkind and unfriendly. Okay, interesting synonym can be amazing, and boring, it means uninteresting. And intelligent synonym is smart and clever. Stupid synonym is foolish and unintelligent. Wide synonym can be broad, wide, and extensive. Brief synonym is fearless. Coward synonym is fearful. Okay, wonderful synonym is amazing. And surprising is astonishing. And enjoyable synonym can be entertaining and recreational and leisure. Expensive synonym can be costly, it may be precious, it may be high cost. Cheap synonym is a low cost and also inexpensive. Okay, if you know these synonyms, you can use them in your speaking, in your writing, and I'm sure as it can be very helpful for you. Okay, now we look at some informal and formal vocabulary. It would be better if you use more formal vocabulary instead of informal ones. For example, first word that we have, it first, it means like initially. It would be better if you use it initially instead of at first. Get, instead of get, you can say obtain or acquire or receive, example. Instead of to tell, it would be better if you use informal. Okay, instead of smart, I think it would be better if you use intelligent. Instead of tough, I think it would be better to use like difficult. And do not use whole, but you can use entire. And do not use tired, but it would be better if you use exhausted. Instead of a lot of, it would be better if you use numerous. And instead of to keep, like save, it would be better to use preserve. Sometimes keep, it means like continue something, it would be better to use retain the balance instead of keeping the balance. Anyways, it would be better if you use nevertheless instead of anyways. Go after, synonym could be pursue. To end, instead of to end something, it would be better to use terminate. Get in touch with, I think it would be better to use like contact somebody, it means like to get in touch with someone. Instead of set up, it would be better if you use establish. Instead of to think, it would be better to use like consider. To stand for, it means like represent, so if you use it this, it would be much better. Okay, thank you for attention.